Hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry and Mowers. Welcome to another weekend product review. Got this in the mail yesterday. It's very heavy. I opened the top and I can see that it's a toolbox. Obviously you can see a reflective triangle, so something automotive related. I'm going to open up this for you closer. All right, here we go. As you can see, it says electric jack for car, 12 volt lighter powered. I think they mean cigarette lighter input. Wow, look at all that stuff, huh? Got some gloves, which is a nice touch, you know. When you're in an emergency, you're guaranteed to get your hands dirty, so this will save you a little bit of that. Ooh, look at this. This is a glass breaker. Obviously, it's useless if you put it in this case in your car. You should put this like in your door sill, like in your driving door area there, in case you are a dumbass and you fly off a bridge or something into water and you're in the lake or an ocean or something like that, and you're sinking, break the window. It also has a seatbelt cutter. In the panic, if you can remember that you have this, use this to get out of your car. It's very nice. I like these. Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep this in my car. You have a cigarette lighter adapter that you can connect to your battery directly. Some kind of a plastic cranking thing, flathead screwdriver, socket. Got some straps here, toe straps or something. That's cool. Another socket. The cigarette lighter plug to power up this tool. Ooh, you know what this is? This is a portable impact wrench to get the lug nuts off. Let me talk about this for a second after we take a look. Look at this. It has an air compressor too. That's really cool that you can connect this wire. See, so this cable that connects to your cigarette lighter also connects to your air compressor to pump up your tires in case you have low air pressure somewhere, and also the impact wrench. Here you have the top part of the jack, which connects to the point where you lift. Look at this. Cell phone. Wow, what is this? Is this a remote control? Oh, look at that. Wireless remote control. That's cool. Along with this manual one. So here's the jack. It's basically a scissor jack with a motor on it connected to the controller for up and down. This is very handy if you are if you get a flat tire and you got to change your tire on the highway. You know, the jacks that they give you for the cars, they're very wobbly, very hard to use, take you forever to crank it up. This one here, you can just plug in your cigarette lighter and should be able to lift your car so that you can get your tire off. So here I have my 2012 Mercedes-Benz E350 4MATIC. It has a constant 12 volt input in the glove compartment, one over here in the trunk area. Now this is constant, which means that you could just plug it in and it'll work. It also has the cigarette lighter, which is switched. You have to have the key in the car with it turned to the accessory first notch. That kind of drains the battery more than a constant 12 volt. So we'll just use this for today's purposes. So I've connected the cigarette lighter cable to the rear trunk axis. We're going to connect that to the scissor jack. It's just a 2-prong connection with a screw in. So remember, you're doing this on the side of the highway. That is if you keep this big box in your car for emergencies, which I probably would do. It would take up a lot of room because it's a hefty thing, you know. But let's see if this works, okay? Up. Okay, so I just switched it to my cigarette lighter. I was mistaken. I don't have a 12-volt constant in the glove. It's only the trunk and the regular switched cigarette lighter in the car. So I just turn the switch, and it's in the cigarette lighter now. Let's see if it works. Up. Down. Okay, so it works. The longer one can screw in here for your mounting plate, but this is probably for SUVs where it has a higher wheelbase, right? So since we're using this Mercedes today for a demonstration, we'll use the shorter one. The shorter one just goes on just like that. Now the accessories in the box was for the direct connection, positive, negative battery terminal connections. This is if for some reason your 12-volt constant doesn't work, probably means your fuse is blown in your fuse box. But it does work for here. But if it didn't work, you could connect it directly to your battery. Let's try the impact wrench. Okay, so let me just talk about the impact wrench a little bit. This is designed to help you remove the lug nuts off your wheels. Once you have the jack placed upwards a little bit, you loosen the lug nuts on the wheel while the tire is still touching the ground. Then once you loosen the lug nuts, you can power this scissor jack up higher so that the wheel is off the ground, so then you can loosen the lug nuts and take the tire off, wheel off. So I have big doubts that this impact wrench is going to work to remove the lug nuts. Why? Because on Mercedes-Benz, the torque specifications for tightening your lug nuts is 100 foot-pounds, which is 1,200 inch-pounds. Sometimes with my half-inch impact wrench, my personal one, which is rated at 581 inch-pounds of torque, right? Can't even remove it. You need a breaker bar or a torque bar to remove the lug nuts on it. So I highly doubt this will get it off. But once you did get the torque broken and you can loosen it, this will help you loosen it faster. Let's see if it works. Oh. Well, you gotta connect it to the power. So you can take the same cable and attach it to this, which is a good touch because honestly, they didn't have to give you this at all. That's not bad. That's for tightening. And the double line is for loosening. That's cool. Let's try the air compressor. That's really cool to have all these features with it. You know, so here's your air compressor. Good air compressor. So we know that works. So you can pump up your tires, you can take your tire off, you can take your lug nuts off faster with this, but I don't think you can get this off, get the lug nuts to be off the torque. These are too tight. Let's see if we can jack up the car now. Now this Mercedes is very heavy, as most cars are, but Mercedes for some reason I think is even more heavy. I'll tell you the weight. 5,225. This car is 5,225 pounds. Heavy. That's more than 2 tons. Okay, so I have placed the scissor jack right onto the mounting point where you can lift it. Let's try my half-inch impact wrench. It's rated at 581 inch-pounds. That converts to roughly 40 or so, 45 foot-pounds of torque. This is 100 pounds for the torque settings on the lug nuts. Even this will not remove it. Doesn't even move. So do you think this thing will be enough to remove lug nuts? Highly doubt it. in which case it would be rendered useless. You wouldn't even have to bring it with you because it's not going to work. I guarantee it's not going to work. Let's put the right socket on here. This one's tighter. The one they give you doesn't really fit. Let's try. Wow! It worked! So this thing has more than 100 foot-pounds of torque. I mean, I'm really surprised. Good for you. I'm really impressed. That's fantastic. Blows my mind. Okay, so now that we know that impact wrench works, you can also use the air compressor to pump air in your tires. So we know that's going to work, right? So let's go ahead and try this. See if it goes up. You can hear the motor becoming sluggish and hard to use. Let's try the portable keychain remote control that they gave me. Let's see if this works. Up. Works. You can be walking around with this. You don't have to stand here and press this button. Remote control on your keychain. Oh, stop. Okay, so you just have to press the button once and it'll continuously do it until you press stop. So that could be a little dangerous because if you're not realizing, this could keep going all the way to the very top. So I wouldn't use this. This is kind of dangerous, you know, because it won't stop unless you press stop. It's not like you put your finger on it and it goes, and you let go and it stops. The stop button is dangerous because, you know, you don't want it to go too high. You know, you don't know what you're doing. So I would just use this. But as you can see, it took about 40 seconds, 45 seconds to raise it all the way up. As you can see, the wheel is off the ground. See? And now you can take your wheel off without even breaking a sweat or even getting my hands dirty. That's pretty cool. Let's lower it. Much faster when it's lowering, obviously. There's no weight on it. It's just helping the motor go down. That's great. This is the scissor jack from Vevor. Vevor, if you guys Google Vevor, you'll see they make a lot of stuff. Lots of industrial and commercial equipment. When Vevor asked me to review this stuff, there was a lot of things on their website. I mean, pages and pages. It took me an hour to look through the stuff that I, could use for the videos. But I figured, you know what? I could use a scissor jack. I've always been intrigued by the fact that, let's try one with a motor on it so you wouldn't have to crank it or find the cranking iron for it. It's always a pain, especially when you're under the stress of having a flat tire on the side of a highway or a dark road or something like that. And just the thought of having to change a tire is just, it's something you don't want to do. But if you do get into a pinch like that, it's really good to know that A, you got a scissor jack where you could just press a button and it'll raise your car. And what really blows my mind is the impact wrench that it comes with it. It was strong enough to remove a lug nut without even a T-bar or a breaker bar. I'm just stunned because I thought this was really powerful and this couldn't get the lug nut off. but the enclosed one did get it off. Really impressed with the impact wrench. It's very strong. And also, of course, for a flat tire, it's really nice that they give you an air compressor too. You could use all these things in case of an emergency. So it's a fantastic emergency box. So, really impressed with this. The instructions don't tell you any torque specifications, and it doesn't tell you how heavy, but on the website it says about 6,600 pounds. You could lift a truck with this. That's over 3 tons, which is very impressive. The motor is gonna be weaker as the load gets higher, which is understandable, right? But it worked just fine to lift this 5,225 pound car in less than 45 seconds. So that's pretty good. Really impressive impact wrench. I really didn't think that that would outhandle a 1/2 inch, impact, so really nice. I'm more impressed with this than anything. This, I couldn't believe it took off the lug nut. I mean, I have to use a breaker bar usually just to go for me to crack it, so that's really impressive. Comes in a nice carry-on case. This thing is a backup in case your motor went bad or something, and comes with the 3 fuses. It's a really nice emergency toolbox for everything you need to change a tire, essentially, on the side of a highway without even breaking a sweat. Really cool. If you guys are interested in it, and you should be, because this is a must, I'm gonna definitely put all this stuff back into the box and keep it in my trunk of my car in case I need it someday. Thanks a lot for joining me on this weekend product review. I'll leave a link in the description, and you guys can check out all of Vevor's items on their website. Have an hour or two, because I'm telling you, thousands and thousands of industrial and commercial products. We'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.